Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business powered by Mirabali Insurance. Sunday evenings at 6.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney. He was called out at this New York Times DealBook confab by Elon Musk right after he told Bob and his friends who were boycotting Twitter in terms of their advertising to go make love to themselves.
Yeah, it's the F blank heard around the world.
Here's what Iger had to say to the smug twit Aaron Ross Sorkin, who's interviewing all these people, including Reparation H, the vice president. We'll get to her later. Here's what Bob Iger had to say, explaining why Disney stopped advertising on Musk's platform.
I mentioned X, and we're going to see Elon Musk in a little bit. Mm-hmm. You stopped advertising on X.
We did.
Tell us about that decision.
I have a lot of respect for Elon and what he's accomplished, and not just, one business, but a few businesses. And we know Elon is larger than life in many respects, and that his name is very much tied to the companies he either has founded or he owns, whether it's Tesla, or SpaceX, SpaceX, or now X. Mm-hmm. And by him taking the position that he took in quite a public manner, we just felt that the association with that position and Elon Musk and X was not necessarily a positive one for us, and we decided we would pull our advertising. And we are now allowing entities at the company to use X as a platform to communicate. ABC News is a good example of that. ESPN, another. We use it.
But do you anticipate this is forever?
I haven't readdressed it since the decision was made.
Do you find it a good advertising platform?
We reach people on a lot of social media platforms. It's become in general, social media has become an effective way for us to communicate, whether it's marketing message or otherwise. Specifically, I don't want to be specific about X itself.
So that's what prefaced Elon Musk's interview, in which he told Bob Iger and others who he accused of essentially trying to extort him with advertising to go make love to themselves. What's the impact of that on corporate America that's still, or maybe not still, maybe starting to, is a better way to describe, starting to wrestle with the wokeness and their capture by Marxists, Gen Z, Gen X, Millennial, I don't know, all of the above Marxists? I don't know. Are they starting to wrestle with that? In the wake of the Supreme Court decision and the Harvard admissions case and discussions that ESG, reporting actually, that ESG investing is down. We've talked to Steve Moore about that. That DI officers are starting to get laid off. Where's this going in corporate America? For more on this and other matters, Scott the Cow Guy Shellady, market specialist for Market Day Report, 10:30 to 1 Chicago time, and host of the Cow Guy Close, 1 to 1:30, both at RFD-TV. Scott the Cow Guy, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
What impact do you think Musk's rather surprising and unvarnished response to those boycotting Twitter in terms of advertising, what impact will that have in corporate America?
Well, I think to your point, it's definitely moving in favor of anti-wokeness. I mean, I had a guest on my show yesterday. You're probably familiar with Dr. Ben Carson, Larry Elder, a guy by the name of John Rich from Big and Rich, who's a country music star. They started a bank here in Nashville, but it's actually national, called Old Glory, to kind of get around all the wokeness. Right, because I've been speaking to groups over the last 2 years that have seen fossil fuel companies get debanked because they've had 30-year relationships that have gone under because some of these banks have become woke and won't take their business anymore. You saw what happened to Nigel Farage over in England.
Gun sellers, sure.
Finally, I he was with Coots too. I mean, that's the Queens Bank. I feel as though that people are waking up to this garbage, and what happens is that you try to. A lot of people try to massage it and maybe even acquiesce a little bit and try to play by their rules a little bit. But once that happens and they're in, that Trojan horse is never coming back. They got you. So unless you stop it from the beginning, it's a disease that's pretty hard to shake. So I think more and more corporations and maybe even hopefully CEOs are waking up to the fact that this is a load of garbage, and it's not a mainstream view. There are some special interest groups that will then try to start problems and go call other firms like Disney and say, hey, are you sure you want to advertise on these platforms? But I think that those places are going to slowly but surely start falling on more dead ears, especially in the wake of what we've seen happen with the government and how they got in bed with big tech and all the things like that that are coming to the fore. I think the American public, the silent majority, is absolutely sick of it.
Yeah, I think Bob Iger's comment, though, yesterday made me not want to go to Disney even more than I already don't want to go.
Well, I mean, look, they're struggling. I mean, they're not doing well. They're ESPN's not doing well. I mean, this is something. This is a cancer that's got into these big corporations, and it's turned them around, and it's not good. And so, if you've got common business sense and you do the right thing, it's sometimes hard to say what you want to say. But I think that the American people are waking up to the fact that they'd much rather do business with somebody they know where they stand rather than do business with somebody that says something in order to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly what Musk mentioned in another response that ended with "fu," which was that he's sick of people that are pretending to do good while they're doing evil. These sort of phony do-gooders, and he's essentially calling them out. There's a lot of weasels and C-suites in corporate America.
Absolutely, and I think that what proves his point is that a lot of the folks that were offended by what he had to say were not offended by what he had to say. They were offended that he had to swear while he said it. I mean, that's how they attacked him, not about his actual content.
Right.
So that's what I thought was fun. Yeah. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, okay, so the guy swore. Who cares? You haven't heard that before? I mean, all this stuff about,
sure. Virgin ears in corporate America, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, it's still all garbage. It makes me, and I see it now that I'm in the media full time. I mean, it takes patience, but I mean, it's unbelievable that the world, goes around like this sometimes. It really is, and I've woken up to the fact that it's hard. It's not easy. When you've got 95% of the people out there that are gunning for you because they don't like they want you to, acquiesce, and they want you to heal, and they want you to do as they say. It sometimes is a lonely road.
All right. Well, and this is the part of the interview where we give you an opportunity to apologize to us and our listeners. You talked your doom and gloom predictions about the market. Kept my money largely on the sidelines, like yours. And look at the run up. Everything's coming up roses. Inflation is down. Dow rallies another 500 points yesterday. And I could be buying an electric vehicle or something with the money that I would have made if I didn't listen to you.
I want to hear you tell me how inflation is down. I mean,
they said it. They, them.
Oh, them.
The experts
who are them,
said
Dan,
it.
as you always say.
The experts.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, when people that put they, them, or he, she on their CV, their resume, that just means I'm going to be a problem at HR. It's like, okay, thank you for letting me know ahead of time. Here's the deal. 3.2% the inflation. It's still going up, but at a slower pace. The media are trying to tell you that, hey, if Shellady is gaining weight at a slower pace this year than he did last year, is he getting thinner?
Yes.
That's what they're telling you. It's okay,
so
let me give you the skinny on this. No pun intended. Here's the problem. The consumer is 70% of the economy. We've got places that sell food like Kroger, Walmart, Costco, saying that the consumer is starting to run on fumes. And here's the headlines are, hey, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we had sales, 8% higher, 7% higher. Some of them were 9% higher. Salesforce.com said that. Adobe said that. A few other outlets said that. But they're only counting e-commerce. E-commerce is only 24% of retail sales. When you take in bricks and mortar with e-commerce over those 2 days, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, sales were up 2 to 2.5% from this time last year. And by the way, inflation's up 3.2%, so net, it's a negative, okay? And then I'll throw in the kicker. People that are buying things on buy now, pay later, that's up 47% year over year. So the consumer is so tapped, they've got to go to these buy now, pay later sites, and we still have less sales than we did this time last year when you take into inflation and bricks and mortar. I'm telling you, go ahead and put your money in the market. That's fine. I'm not going to try to tell you. Yes, we were up 8.5% for the month of November. That is like a good year. That is a good year. We're not back up to the highs, but boy, oh boy, that was a good month. And it's on the back of the fact that everybody thinks that it's just going to be fine. We're going to start cutting rates. Well, let me ask you why we're going to cut rates. You must think the economy's bad if you think we're going to be cutting rates, or they wouldn't cut rates. They don't cut rates when things are great. These people are talking out of both sides of their mouths, but let them go, let it do it, and everybody's rushed to the stock market. That's fine. But I've been doing it for 36 years, and I got to where I am by not following the crowd. And the crowd is going bananas, baying for rate cuts. And we'll see. But I'm telling you right now, the thing that drives this economy is Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, and they got no more dough. That's it.
All right, Scott the Cow Guy, Shellady, that's a good counterpoint. You've definitely managed to avoid the necessity of an apology. Scott the Cow Guy, market specialist for Market Day, 10:30 to 1 p.m., and host of the Cow Guy Close, 1 to 1:30, both at RFD-TV. Scott the Cow Guy, thank you as always.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. You may have heard me on the radio sharing information about taxes, the IRS, or some other legal topic. Over these many years, I've learned quite a lot about helping business owners. It's pretty complicated out there. Business owners must always be learning just to keep up. So I've put together an email newsletter where I share information with business owners for free. That's right, no charge. All you have to do is go to radiotaxman.com and provide your email address. That's it. You may wonder why I would do that. Well, I know business owners are going to need help now and again. Tax returns, IRS trouble, business structuring, tax planning, and a whole lot more. I also know that if I share accurate, important information with you, information you can trust, you may give me an opportunity to help you. That's it. You don't have to ask for my help, but I want to offer it to you. Pretty simple. Go to radiotaxman.com right now and sign up for my email newsletter. That's radiotaxman.com. It's free. Together we can fight back